Seiko collectors are panicking right now as certain models vanish from authorized dealers faster than anyone expected. Whether it's limited production runs, discontinued references, or unexpected collector demand driving scarcity, these watches are becoming impossible to find at retail. Smart buyers are scrambling to secure these pieces before secondary market prices skyrocket beyond reach. We're tracking which Seiko models are disappearing from stores right now based on dealer inventory, online availability, and collector chatter across forums. Let's dive into the top 10 Seiko models vanishing from shelves. Number 10, Seiko 5 Sports SRPD 79, Blue 5, $295. The SRPD 79 Blue 5 kicks things off with its striking midnight blue dial that photographs beautifully under any lighting condition. This 40mm automatic sports watch uses the workhorse 4R36 movement, offering hand-winding, hacking seconds, and the reliable 41-hour power reserve Seiko fans trust. What makes this vanish so quickly? The vibrant blue creates incredible wrist presence while remaining versatile enough for suits or weekend casual wear. Authorized dealers report selling through inventory within days of restocks, with online retailers showing temporarily out of stock for weeks at a time. The exhibition case back, day-date complication, and 100-meter water resistance check every box for daily wear without breaking budgets. Drilled lugs make strap swaps. Effortless collectors immediately throw these on NATO straps or leather, creating personalized looks instantly. Amazon ratings consistently hit 4.5 plus stars, with buyers praising accuracy, finishing quality, and value proposition compared to Swiss alternatives tripling the cost. Secondary market listings already command $50 to $75 premiums over retail as availability tightens across major markets globally. If you spot one in stock anywhere, grab it immediately before this blue beauty disappears completely. Number 9. Seiko Presage SPB 161 Blue Enamel, WADA 200. Moving up market, the SPB 161 showcases Seiko's mastery of traditional enamel dial craftsmanship that luxury Swiss brands charge quadruple for achieving. This 40.mm dress watch features a deep blue enamel dial fired multiple times by master artisans, creating depth no printed dial can replicate. The 6R35 movement with 70-hour power reserve means you can leave this off-wrist all weekend and it'll still be running Monday morning. Only 3,000 pieces were produced globally, a number that seemed adequate until collectors realized how stunning these look in person versus photos online. Authorized dealers sold out their allocations within the first month, surprising even Seiko with the overwhelming response from dress watch enthusiasts. The box sapphire crystal adds vintage charm while blued steel hands pop against the rich blue background, creating visual drama. Amazon reviews praise the dial craftsmanship extensively, with multiple buyers comparing favorability to Grand Seiko, finishing at a third of the price. Pre-owned examples now trade $300 to $500 above original retail on collector forums, as finding new stock becomes nearly impossible anywhere. The leather strap quality impressed reviewers, though many immediately swapped to custom options, enhancing the already elegant presentation further. Don't sleep on this. If you find remaining stock, these won't reappear once current inventory evaporates completely. Number 8. Seiko Prospex SPB 317. Arnie Reissue, 550. The SPB 317 brings back the legendary 1982 H558 Arnie, worn by Schwarzenegger in countless 80s action films that defined an era. This chunky 47.8-meter hybrid analog-digital watch combines quartz accuracy with solar charging, eliminating battery replacement anxieties that plague vintage originals. Collectors went absolutely crazy when Seiko announced this reissue. Within 48 hours, major retailers reported pre-orders exceeding initial shipment allocations by 300%. The yellow accents and retro digital display create nostalgic appeal while remaining surprisingly functional for modern use, including travel and workouts. Water resistance to 200 meters with screw-down crown makes this a legitimate tool watch rather than just fashion throwback riding nostalgia waves. Online forums exploded with excitement when these finally shipped, with users praising comfort despite the massive dimensions that initially concerned many. Amazon ratings hover around 4.6 stars as buyers appreciate the attention to detail Seiko invested, recreating this icon faithfully without cheapening it. Number 7. Seiko 5 Sports GMT SSK 05 Snoopy, 500. Affectionately nicknamed Snoopy by collectors for the beagle-like coloring, This GMT brings dual time zone functionality to accessible pricing that destroys Swiss competition. The 42.5mm case houses the true GMT 4R34 movement with independently adjustable hour hand feature, typically reserved for watches costing triple. Black and white color scheme with red GMT hand creates graphic impact while remaining legible during actual travel across time zones frequently. Initial production runs sold out within weeks as word spread about legitimate GMT complications, at this pricing shocking the enthusiast community accustomed to higher costs. The bidirectional bezel provides additional reference, though purists wish it was unidirectional like traditional GMTs from other manufacturers offer. Water resistance to 100 meters handles swimming and weather without concern, while day-date complications add everyday utility beyond travel functions. Amazon buyers consistently rate this 4.7 plus stars, praising accuracy, build quality, and the fact you're getting genuine Seiko GMT mechanics, not fake complications. Authorized dealer waitlists now extend 2 to 3 months in many regions as Seiko struggles to meet demand for this unexpected hit. Number 6. Seiko Presage SPB341 Enamel Lacquer Limited Edition 1400. This limited edition of just 2,000 pieces worldwide combines enamel dial mastery with your Reissue lacquer techniques, creating art you wear daily. The 39.3mm proportions wear beautifully on various wrist sizes, while the gradient green to black dial required weeks of handwork per piece. Seiko positioned this as their answer to critics claiming they can't compete with Swiss haute horology in artistic dial work and finishing. Collectors immediately recognized the value proposition. Similar craftsmanship from Swiss brands would command $5,000 flaws easily without question from luxury watch buyers. The 6R35 automatic movement with 70-hour power reserve provides reliability, while the limited production ensures collectability long-term as availability evaporates. Japanese markets sold out their allocation within 72 hours, shocking even optimistic Seiko executives who underestimated domestic demand significantly. International distribution proved sparse, with many countries receiving single-digit quantities, creating frustration among collectors who discovered these after allocation disappeared. Amazon Japan listings, when available, show perfect 5-star ratings from buyers who successfully secured examples before sellout occurred rapidly. Number 5. Seiko Prospex SPB213 Willard. Limited Edition 1300. Limited to 5,500 pieces globally, this tribute to the legendary 61045-8110 worn by Martin Sheen modernizes an icon without losing its soul. The 42.7mm cushion case in titanium reduces weight dramatically while maintaining the distinctive asymmetric profile that defines this reference aesthetically. Seiko's proprietary Super Luminova application glows intensely. Multiple Amazon reviewers specifically mention visibility lasting hours into darkness, impressing them significantly. The 6R35 movement provides 70-hour power reserve, while the upgraded sapphire crystal improves durability versus vintage acrylic originals that scratch easily. Enthusiasts appreciate how Seiko resisted the temptation to increase sizing beyond the original spirit, keeping dimensions faithful to 1970s proportions that wear comfortably. Initial pricing seemed steep until collectors compared equivalent titanium dive watches from Swiss brands commanding double or triple, asking questions about value. Authorized dealers reported sellouts within 4 to 6 weeks across North America as vintage Seiko collectors and newcomers alike competed for limited allocation. The accordion-style silicone strap proved divisive. Some loved the vintage authenticity, while others immediately swapped to aftermarket leather or rubber alternatives available. Number 4. Seiko King Seiko SPB289 Reissue 850s. The revival of the legendary King Seiko line from the 1960s brings grand Seiko-level finishing at half the cost, shocking collectors familiar with quality. This 37mm dress watch features the distinctive faceted case design, creating dramatic light play across sharp angles and mirror-polished surfaces throughout. The 6R31 movement offers superior accuracy specifications and impeccable finishing, visible through the exhibition case back with perlage, Geneva stripes, and beveled edges. Seiko intentionally limited production to maintain exclusivity, a strategy that backfired when demand exceeded even optimistic projections by significant margins globally. The silver dial with vertical brushing and applied markers showcases attention to detail typically associated with watches, costing thousands more from Swiss manufacturers. Collectors immediately recognize this as accessible entry into higher-grade Seiko manufacturing without the Grand Seiko Premium attached to similar quality. Authorized dealer allocation proved inadequate, with many receiving just 1 to 2 pieces per shipment, creating waiting lists that remain months-long currently. Number 3. Seiko Presage SPB 171 Godzilla. Limited edition 100. Limited to just 1,500 pieces worldwide, this collaboration celebrates Godzilla's 65th anniversary with distinctive green dial and kanji date wheel, creating instant recognition. The 40.5mm proportions balance presence with wearability, while the textured dial evokes reptilian scales. A detail that sounds gimmicky but executes beautifully in person. Seiko's 6R35 movement with 70-hour power reserve provides modern reliability, while the green sunburst dial creates depth that photographs differently in every lighting condition. Japanese domestic market absorbed most of the limited production, leaving international collectors scrambling for remaining allocation that proved woefully inadequate for demand. The special box packaging includes Godzilla artwork and documentation that collectors value almost as much as the watch itself when considering investment. Amazon Japan listings sold out within hours of going live, with prices immediately jumping 30-40% on secondary markets before general availability even occurred. The green color proves more versatile than expected. Reviewers note it pairs surprisingly well with both casual and business casual attire without screaming novelty. Sapphire crystal and exhibition case back provide durability and visual appeal, while the leather strap quality exceeded expectations at this price point significantly. Number 2. Seiko Prospex SPB 143 6-2 Mass Reissue 1 Tau 250. The SPB 143 recreates Seiko's first professional dive watch from 1965 with modern improvements while maintaining the elegant proportions that made it legendary. This 40.5mm diver features the perfect size that vintage enthusiasts crave, while delivering contemporary 200-meter water resistance that meets modern standards. The sunburst blue dial creates stunning visual depth, while applied markers with polished surrounds catch light beautifully from every angle imaginable. Seiko's 6R35 movement with 70-hour power reserve means this runs through entire weekends, addressing the short power reserve complaints that plagued earlier Seiko divers. The boxed sapphire crystal provides vintage charm while offering scratch resistance that acrylic originals could never deliver to owners during daily use. Initial production seemed adequate until collectors realized this represents peak modern Seiko faithful heritage recreation, with thoughtful contemporary improvements throughout. Amazon reviews consistently praise the finishing quality, with comparisons to Swiss dive watches costing $3,000 plus, appearing frequently in customer feedback and ratings. The bracelet with solid end links and divers extension clasp rivals luxury competitors while maintaining the $1,250 price point that seems impossible. Number 1. Seiko 5 Sports SRPK 29 Street Fighter Collection 3 on 50. Taking the top spot with the fastest sellout in recent Seiko history, this Blanca-themed collaboration sold out globally within 48 hours of release, shocking everyone. The 42.5mm case features distinctive green dial and caseback engraving, depicting the iconic Street Fighter character, creating instant nostalgia for gamers. Seiko's 4R36 movement provides reliable automatic operation, while the Street Fighter branding on dial and rotor appeals to collectors beyond traditional watch enthusiasts. Limited production of approximately 9,000 pieces worldwide seemed reasonable until Seiko underestimated the crossover appeal between gaming and watch collecting communities dramatically. Online retailers crashed from traffic as buyers competed for allocation. Some sites sold out within 15 minutes of going live, creating chaos and frustration. Amazon third-party sellers immediately listed these for double retail, before first buyers even received their orders from authorized dealers who fulfilled pre-orders. The entire Street Fighter collection, multiple character variants, evaporated from stores faster than any Seiko release in recent memory, according to dealer reports.